In the age of social media, the modern male narrative is evolving, distorting the image of what it truly means to be a man. While filters and staged perfection dominate social media feeds, setting unrealistic standards, we have sites like OnlyFans thriving, aka toxic femininity. And on the other side, we have people like the Tate brothers and the like, which people call toxic masculinity, trying to set the standard of what it means to be a high level man or a top 1% man. I see a lot of people getting bottlenecked into one way of thinking, and to be honest, it bothers me. So in this video, I want to talk about redefining your own masculinity by embracing diverse expressions. First off, I want to state that I am bang on self-improvement. I'm riding this male self-improvement wave. And I consider myself to be red pill. I'm a traditional man. I believe in classic gender roles. That's how I was raised. So that's just what I'm used to. My dad was a very classic traditional man as well. And he raised me to be that way. But I see a lot of bullshit floating around on the internet. From what I'm seeing lately, the main narrative that's being pushed is that to be a high level, a high value male, a top 1% man, you have to be earning over 10k a month. You have to be good looking to a degree. You need to be in elite physical condition. You should have multiple sexual partners. You should not be married. And it's becoming acceptable to have multiple children with multiple different partners. And you should probably have a house in Dubai. While I definitely agree with some of these points, it seems to me more and more that the lines between what is genuine actual fact and what is matter of opinion and what is just fucking good marketing is all sort of blurring together. People always talk about the aesthetic and the framing of the modern man and what it means to be a top 1% male. Now, like I said, while some of these things I agree with, people don't talk about the more unsexy side of what it means to be a high value man. People tend to leave out these attributes and side of the characteristics. You know, things like integrity, courage, discipline, humility, resilience, emotional intelligence and being able to read a room, loyalty, and not being able to be swayed and be capable of forming your own fucking opinion. Now, some of these guys, they're trying to tell us, trying to tell you how to increase your testosterone while they're fucking drinking whiskey every day and trying to fuck girls every day. Do you know what alcohol does to your testosterone? Now, I'm not sure of the reasoning behind this. I guess like when you're doing so much to fucking increase your testosterone, you know, you're eating the right foods, you're getting enough sleep, enough fucking zinc, vitamin D, you're not wearing polyester fucking boxer shorts, that means you should then drink alcohol every day. So you're basically cancelling out everything that you've done. It makes no fucking sense. Also, a lot of these guys are just telling you that you have low testosterone so they can sell you shit. But this is not all I see that is wrong in the so-called manosphere. Now, if you don't want to get married, that's fine. That's your prerogative. And to be honest, I don't blame you. It's fucking hard. It's not easy. You know, people talk about not getting married because of the costs involved. Fair enough. Or you're scared about if a divorce happens, you're gonna have to split your shit in half. That's fine. I completely understand where you're coming from. You know, sometimes you're gonna have to make decisions or make compromises that involve other people's feelings and thoughts other than your own, and it's challenging. But aren't we supposed to embrace challenges as men? And to be honest, I don't believe you have to have multiple partners to be considered a masculine man. And I actually see men that can't resist sexual temptation as weak. Pussy is our weakness. Let's be honest. It's our fucking weakness. You can look throughout history and you can see countless fucking people who have lost everything due to their inability to say no to pussy. And look at fucking President Clinton, for example. Do you know what I mean? Pussy is our fucking weakness. If you can't learn to get a hold over it, it could turn into a real problem for you. But obviously, if you're single, play the field, have fun, live your life. But that doesn't automatically make you the yardstick for being a man. Now, my dad is the most masculine, aggressive man I've ever known in my entire life. I've been on this earth for 40 years and I've never met another man that can match him in terms of masculinity or aggression. And this is a guy, you know, I've seen him do some wildly aggressive things, and he's still married to my mum. Okay, they've been together God knows how many years, and I never ever saw him even look at another woman, ever. Not ever. That's the lineage that I'm coming from. So as far as having multiple children with multiple partners, I think this might be one of the most destructive things long term for men that is in the manosphere that I've seen. I think this potentially is more damaging for men and young men to hear this message than, say, kids being taught about non-binary and gender fluid shit in primary schools. Do you know what I mean? I put it on that level. So if you have kids across multiple partners, you know, in multiple continents even, can you still be a good father? I think that you can in some ways. You know, you can have some strong characteristics, and there'll be, you know, the only way, let's not fucking forget, the only way that this scenario is ever going to work is if you have a fuck ton of money. Because there's so many fucking things with this, like, no, even if you're upfront about this and you're telling women that you're going to be with that they're never going to be the only one, you're going to have multiple kids with multiple different partners, and you're not a one-woman guy, you know, the sort of woman that is going to agree to that is going to be weak. She's not going to fucking respect herself. Thus, she's not going to be worthy of having a child with in the first place. Do you know what I mean? As I was saying, if you will be able, if you're wealthy, you can provide things for the child or children that they otherwise might not be able to acquire in a standard normal relationship, or a guy that's not high level. But if you're just dotting yourself around, you're basically going to be a dad over the phone, and you can't really be effective at a job if you show up once every fucking 2 weeks or once a month or even less. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's really going to work. I mean, imagine if this was an actual job where you showed up once every 2 weeks or once a month and you came fucking swanning in. For a couple of weeks, people would be like, that guy is a fucking rock star. Do you know what I mean? And then maybe a couple of weeks after that, you're going to get fired and everyone's going to think you're a cunt, which is exactly what your family will fucking think when you start spreading your seed around like you're feeding pigeons at fucking Trafalgar Square. And then obviously, the more partners you have and the more children you have, the less time you're going to individually be able to spend with all of them. So it's kind of a retarded way of thinking, don't you think? And then, you know, how can you be the male, masculine, protective figure? What if something happens and there's a situation that pops off and you're not there to fucking protect them? Now ask yourself, Be honest with yourself. When you've known of a man, I've known of people like this, a few people. When you've known of a man who has multiple kids with multiple partners, do you think, wow, that guy's a cool guy, I want to be like him? You know, I really look up to him and admire him. No. You think he's a fucking idiot. You think he's disloyal. He can't be trusted. He's unable to stick to things. You think he's weak. And now think about it. Think about it. And ask yourself again. When you see a guy who's over 40, over 50, and he's with a 21-year-old, do you think, I want to be like him when I'm that age? Be honest. No. You think two things. He's got money and he's a paedophilic, perverted old cunt. You know, as men do like crave respect. It's a big thing for us. And while a lot of this shit in the manosphere is trying to push this masculine image and teach you to be more respected, these sort of behaviours, they don't actually garner respect. This is just sort of like, a lot of it is just sexy sort of James Bond marketing and nothing else. It doesn't really apply to you. Listen, there are lots of things that I fucking absolutely love in the male self-improvement space. Do you know what I mean? All of the sort of core foundations of it. Get in better shape, make more money, improve your relationships. Don't stop improving, keep fucking working on yourself. Adopt healthy lifestyles, acquire more knowledge, increase your testosterone. But a lot of the other shit is just fucking bollocks and really good marketing. So make sure you can tell the difference between what is real life, what is information, and when you're being marketed to. Guys, remember, it is your God-given right to be successful, and it is your responsibility to reach your potential.